When Siddharth invited me to come, I was very happy to come. But then I saw the date and time, and I was very worried that this is going to clash right with the India-Pakistan match. So for any of you who have not looked at your smartphones yet, India has won by 76 runs. So that's a very good way of starting this talk. So I want to talk to you today about passions. Now, passions are a source of energy. Passions are a gift. They are the foundation for our success. At the same time, passions need to be nurtured. They are like a young sapling that if you nurture it with water and care, they will grow into big, strong trees which will give us lovely fruits. But equally, if you do not nurture your passions, they will wither away and die. Now, the hyper-paced world that we live in, there are many attractions. We end up having many interests. Now, it's very important that we focus, that we are very clear about what passions we are pursuing, because we cannot do everything. We will just dissipate our energies. So it's very important to be clear about your passions. Now, it's a very personal choice. We are all unique, and what drives us, what's our source of energy is unique. But it is helpful to learn from others, and today I would share with you what have been my passions. So, 7 passions. My first passion, career success. Career success, to build a successful career. And I think we are living in very exciting times. These are times when there are so many opportunities for professional excellence, for building global careers, and in that process, gaining a lot of material wealth and building a great life for our families. It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity. All of us should go for it. Yeah. Now, career success, you can talk a lot about it. So I want to share with you 3 of my deepest insights over my 20-year career of what has worked for me. So the first is to think big and to take risks. Now, over the course of our jobs, we can get into a comfort zone. But once you get into a comfort zone, that's the kiss of death. You have to keep on pushing yourself. And what I have experienced is that we are afraid of taking risks. But when you actually look at it, the downside of taking a risk is often not as bad as what you fear. And the upside, what you can gain, is often a lot more. So one of the big risks I took in my life was to leave McKinsey at a very early stage in my career and do a venture. The venture failed. The venture failed, but was it a failure? I was able to come back very, very quickly. And in that process, what I learned was absolutely invaluable. I thought I was a hotshot consultant who knew everything, but really what I have learned about building a business was from that experience of building my own venture. And later on, whatever success I've had in building the McKinsey Knowledge Center and in my current role in Fidelity, I owe a lot to that time, the risk I took with Active Karma. So think big and take risks. My second lesson is to be persistent in search of excellence. To be persistent. The business world, for that matter, life is not easy. There are many ups and downs. Yeah, it's for certain that you will face some failures. Yeah, and often what happens is that we just let go. We just let go, and often it is very close to the pot of gold. And I've learned this the hard way. I've learned this the hard way. When I did my venture, I shut it down in 2 years. Perhaps it was too soon. And later on, with hindsight, I realized that it takes much longer and a lot of focus to build anything meaningful. And I've taken that lesson. So when I joined MCKC, I stayed at MCKC for 8 years. And my current job with Fidelity for 5 years. And I think it is that resilience, it is that persistence that has helped us achieve a vision that might have been very fanciful at the beginning stages. So that's the second lesson, to be persistent in the search of excellence. The third lesson I want to share on career success is to invest in building relationships. When I started my career 20 years back, I remember from business school, there was this induction meeting in McKinsey, and there was a very senior partner, who was addressing us, and he said that there are only two ways to succeed in life. Either you know something, or you know someone. And I thought, how frivolous is that? It is, of course, about knowing something. Just knowing someone's business, it almost sounds like cheating. Yeah. Now, as I've spent more time, I have realized how wrong I was. As human beings, we respond a lot more to trust and emotions than we do to logic and to facts. So relationships are a huge force multiplier. They're a force multiplier that can help you achieve what you can never ever achieve individually. Yeah? So invest in relationships. That's the greatest gift you can give to yourself. Okay, my second passion, innovation and entrepreneurship. Innovation and entrepreneurship, something very close to Siddharth's heart. We are living in very interesting times. The velocity of change in the business world is absolutely unprecedented. The business cycles are all shrinking. There are new markets that are coming up, new customers, new products, and most importantly, the pace of technology change is absolutely dazzling. And that is creating tremendous opportunities for innovation, for entrepreneurship. And I would say this is not just an opportunity to leapfrog, both individually and us as a country, but this is also a necessity. If we do not innovate, we will be left behind. Now, of course, the most tangible way of innovating and being an entrepreneur is to do your own startup. Many of you here have done that. But what I want to share is that even when you're in a job, there are so many opportunities to innovate and to be an entrepreneur. And I've had that privilege throughout my career. So let me share the story with you. When I joined the McKinsey Knowledge Center in 2002, it was less than 50 people, 35, 40 people. And it was a back office. It was the back office of the back office. And most people there believed that the MCKC had reached the limits of what it could become. In 2010, after 8 years, when I left MCKC, it was over 700 people and one of the largest knowledge centers of its type in the world. And it's not just about scale, it is about what happened there. We developed so many new capabilities, which are new service lines for McKinsey, and which has totally reshaped how McKinsey is serving its clients. And the most fascinating thing is that all of that happened in India with a very young team. The management team was in its early 30s. That team, in many ways, changed McKinsey. Yeah? So innovation and entrepreneurship, I think this is a very, very unique, huge opportunity for all of us in India. We have always had the talent, but now in India we have the business knowledge, we have the global connections, we have the global view, and we have risk capital. So we must use it. Innovation and entrepreneurship. My third passion is leadership. And this is also a bit of a sore point for me. I feel that we have a huge leadership deficit in India across our political, business and social lives. It is perhaps the single biggest reason, this deficit, why as a country we have not been able to realize our full potential. But now for the good news. I very strongly believe that there is a great leader inside all of us. I just do not believe in this debate about, leaders are born or leaders are made. All of us have a great leader inside us. What is needed? What is needed is a spark that will unlock that leader within us. That leader needs to be unlocked. It is there for each one of us. Let me share my own story with you. I think the leader within me got unlocked only when I reached my graduate college in IIT Delhi. I think I reached IIT Delhi as a fairly introverted, underconfident type of a guy. But the one thing I had was that I was reasonably good at sports. So because of that, I ended up becoming the sports secretary of my hostel. Doesn't sound anything major. But it was that one simple thing that changed me. That somehow sparked an ambition, that unleashed an energy which transformed me and which transformed things around me. I was able to take people along with me, and together we achieved things which we thought were quite impossible. So that simple thing was what unlocked my kind of leadership genie. And once it was unlocked, that is what I have been able to build on. I've been able to harness that leadership formula in many, many different ways. Yeah. So I really wanted to give this message to you that there is a leader inside all of us. And look for that spark, look for that key that is going to unlock the leader within you. My fourth passion is family and friends. Family and friends. See, life is a long journey. Life is not a sprint. It's like a marathon. And in that marathon, you need an anchor. Yeah, when you're running a marathon, at every couple of kilometers, you have that watering station. You need that in life. And my family is my anchor. My wife Arpana is here. We have 3 beautiful children. I'm part of a very privileged to be part of a joint family. My elder brother Vivek is here. My niece Vandani is here. My family is my anchor. My family is my anchor. It's the source of my strength and what keeps me going. I'm also fortunate to have a large circle of friends. And I really wanted to share this with you. That last couple of years, with few of my close friends from IIT, we've been going on a boys trip. Zindagi Na Mile Dobara. We've done it a couple of times. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's great to be boys again. It's just such a great release. At the same time, when you get together, you also end up having some very deep conversations about life. Perhaps because all of us are on the wrong side of 40. But with your close friends, you can be very honest and real in a way you can't be with your professional network. Yeah? And in that honesty, you get some perspectives on life, which are very, very valuable. So, friends and family. My fifth passion is spirituality. Now, many of us are caught in a rat race. Yeah. So I call it that we are running on a treadmill that keeps on going faster and faster. Yeah. So we have our desires and we work very hard to fulfill those desires. But as soon as we fulfill the desires, there are even a new set of desires that come up. Yeah. And we are again running after them. It never stops. It never stops. It becomes very tiring. It's a cause of stress and eventually a cause of a lot of our medical problems. Spirituality has been the way I have been able to find balance in my life. I have been privileged to discover art of living and follow it for the last 13 years. And for the last couple of years, I have been reading the Bhagavad Gita. And I think I've been really fortunate. Art of Living has given me the practical tools and techniques, for yoga, pranayam, meditation, and Gita has given me a great theoretical framework to understand life. Yeah, and I think this is very necessary. This has allowed me to go deeper within myself. This has allowed me to manage stress, and this has allowed me to find calm and peace in my life. And this is something I would encourage all of you to to explore. India is the home of spirituality. India is the home of spirituality. Please do not confuse this with religion. Yeah? Religion, in a fruit, religion is just the surface, spirituality is the core. Yeah? India is the home of spirituality. We have so much to teach the world here, and we are doing that. But all of us should first benefit from this great gift that we have, spirituality. The sixth passion of my life is sports. So whatever I have done in life, whatever I have achieved, I owe a lot to sports. When I was growing up, when I was a child, I was a weak and sickly child. Yeah. But luckily for me, my school was very close to my home. So I ended up going to my school regularly for playing basketball. Yeah, and I did that for 8-9 years. And that really transformed me. I was not very good at it to begin with, but over a period of time, I became better and eventually represented both my school and college in basketball, volleyball, football. Whatever I've learned about teamwork and leadership, winning and losing, focus, perseverance, I've learned it from sports. Sports is the greatest master, guru, ashram, nursery that I could have ever had. Yeah? And even now, while I can't play these sports, they're perhaps a little too aggressive for me now, but I still play squash regularly, and it's a great stress buster. And I think my colleagues at work and also my wife can know when I've played squash and when I've not played squash, because if I've not played squash, then I tend to be quite grumpy. So sports, that's my sixth passion. My seventh passion, the final passion, is India. I think we are, as a country, we are at a remarkable junction. There are two big forces at work which make me feel very optimistic about the future of our country. The first is our youth. We have over 500 million people below the age of 25. That's remarkable. That's a staggering number. And it's not just about the numbers. Our youth has a very different attitude. They are positive, a very different level of ambition, very different level of confidence. They are not held back. They are not encumbered by our failures of the past. So youth. And on top of that, the second force, the second asset that we have is the educated middle class. Nowhere in our history, at least our recent history, have we had such a large middle class. A population that is very rooted in Indian values. At the same time, they have global exposure. And many of them are financially well off now, so that they are not getting limited by the insecurities of trying to manage their day-to-day life. They are at a point where they can contribute. Yeah? And contribute we have to. Contribute we have to, because there are still many challenges that we need to overcome. Huge poverty, the need to create jobs, poor governance and corruption just being a few of them. And we can contribute in different ways. For some of us, maybe it is joining active politics. But for many others, we can just volunteer in different things. So I explored politics a couple of years back, 2 years back. I realized that was not my cup of tea, at least not at this stage of my life. But what I have done is that I have chosen NASSCOM, which is our industry body for the IT and BPO industry, as my platform. So I've been chairing the body for Haryana for the last couple of years, and I think it's been a great opportunity to learn and also to contribute not just to our development, not just to our industry, but also to the development of our city, Gurgaon. And in that process, I've had the privilege of coming across many senior professionals, people that I respect dearly, who are making great contributions, who are giving back so much. So friends, there is a very important change happening on the ground, and we all really should be a part of it. Okay, so with that, I would like to conclude my 7 passions. So career success, innovation and entrepreneurship, leadership, family and friends, spirituality, sports, and India. Yeah. So again, I want to reiterate that we are living in very interesting times. There are tremendous opportunities for personal and professional success ahead of us and for contributing to our country. And I really hope, I really wish, I pray that all of you find your passions, your success formula, which will lead you to all the success that you desire. Thank you and all the best.